Hey, everybody, it's Dana with CoachDanaInspires.com, and we are so excited that you're here today with us. We have a fabulous guest, and that is Kim Nagle, and she is here today to share her damn plan with you. Absolutely. And Kim Nagle is an author, a speaker, a coach. She is fantastic. And for those of you who don't know who I am, I coach women entrepreneurs. I help them find their value, find their perfect fit client, and then we all go out there and we change the world. So we are here today to talk to Kim, though. And so, Kim, how are you?
Oh my gosh, I am just absolutely fabulous. This is just so I need to tell you a real quick story.
Absolutely, please do.
You asked me to go. I am coming to you live from a hotel room in Fargo, North Dakota, where I'm speaking today. And living on the road is interesting and in the best and worst of times. But so I whip out the door to grab a copy of my book out of the car and lock myself out of my hotel room. Now I got to run around the building to find somebody to get me in. And just as we went live, some guy with a Harley just started up outside. So I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the Harley, but I can hear the Harley. So this is life. This is real life, Dana. And we are all doing business in the midst of our very real lives.
Yes,
so
yes.
Couldn't get any better he was to talk about the damn plan.
I thought he was going to take you on the motorcycle and take you away. And I was like,
Calgon, Harley, someone take me away.
All right. Well, I think it's great. I'm glad you're well. I'm glad you're on the road speaking. And speaking of speaking, you talk to business owners, you talk to entrepreneurs, you talk to all your clients and everything. So clearly things are opening up for live speaking engagements. Are you hearing a lot of positive feedback, or are people still getting a little are they a little antsy about things?
I'm really proud of us. I want to say that I'm really proud of us. And I speak about those who kind of grabbed it by the horns and said, okay, there's some things we're going to have to cope with, some things we're going to have to put up with, but I'm going to find a way to, this idea of living in a new normal is kind of ridiculous because a new normal occurs every day. Our lives evolve and change, and it's up to us to change within the context of that. So what I'm hearing from people is they're delighted to be together. Those that are still, for medical reasons or whatever ever reasons they might have, for saving some money on gas reasons, can still come virtual. And almost, I would say 99% of all the events or activities, whether it's coaching or training that I do, there's a hybrid approach that people can access. And people are taking this tool, this Zoom tool that some may have come to despise, and using it for good, using it to empower their businesses, to reach people they've never reached before. And I'm excited about that. And I'm really proud of all of us for being here. And for those that are listening, for surviving and thriving in the midst of what was a first-time pandemic for many people, or a first-time holy buckets moment.
Yeah, right. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I was speaking to one of my guests. Maybe it was a month or so ago, and they said, "Well, what do we do? How do we plan for the future? We don't know what's going to happen." And my guest said, "When have you ever been able to plan? Were you able to plan out 2017 and it all worked perfectly? Were you able to plan out 2018 and it all went as planned?" I mean, we have to be flexible and agile. I love that word.
Right.
In business and in life to get through this. So I think you're absolutely right. A lot of people are going to be, hanging out on the Zoom for a while and maybe forever. And that's great. I think this Zoom thing has been, a blessing and a curse, but doggone it, you're in North Dakota and here I am in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and we're doing this because of Zoom. So
yes, it is a treasure. I've been able to coach a gal in London. Okay. I have a coaching client in London and I am absolutely loving it. And that's London as in England.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, not London, North Dakota.
Yeah.
Or that's Langdon. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving, of course, getting back. I am a people person. I love a good hug. I love to be able to be in the room and get the full enchilada. I just do. So I'm glad to be back in the room.
I think it's great. I'm so excited. So excited. So, here we are. We're a year past, getting locked down and people are starting to move around. So what exactly what do you think we should do? Entrepreneurs, business owners, how can we move forward now that we're moving past this lockdown stage? What can we do right now to really make a difference in our businesses?
Well, funny you should mention that, because I kind of wrote a book about it.
No way.
The damn plan. How to find freedom, love, and money in your business. And the way you take advantage of opportunities, the way you take advantage of life, the way you stay relevant is really by paying attention and by seeking out the truth and acting according to the truth. So let's just say, if your truth today is that you have a terrible head cold, do your best with a terrible head cold. Do your best on that given day. Have an alternative plan. If you can't function without a head cold, have plan B. And all of that is what DAM planning is about. And DAM, I better let everybody know what DAM is all about, because it's not just a fun word to say. We can say damn when things are good, or damn when things are not so good. But DAM is an acronym, and it was created or derived from my 30 years of business coaching experience and helping people do what you said. How do I go forward from here? Here I am. And that's the best place to be, is right here I am. As long as you know where you're at, you know the truth, you know your financials, you know your numbers, you know about you know what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, you know what your life looks like, and you're building a business within the context of that life, then here is a really great place to be.
Yes.
So how do you go forward from there? Well, D is for determined decisions. A is for act consistently. M is for mind your business, and N is for no excuses. And so to go forward, our first step is to know that truth of where you're at and then where you want to go. All right. If you're making $50,000 a year and you want to move to 100,000, that's a truth. Those are more than goals. Those are the truths of your life. If you absolutely need to make $25,000 a year, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000. That's an absolute truth. And your business must be built on that, because the bank doesn't take buttons. Did you know that, Dana? The bank doesn't take buttons to pay the mortgage. I have a lifetime collection, and nobody wants them.
They didn't want them. Oh, no, so bad.
Didn't. So anyway, so making those determined decisions is based on knowing those facts, those numbers, the truth of what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, who your ideal customers are, all of that. And then you make determined decisions around that. There's a lot of talk about gut instinct and going by intuition and going by your gut. That works. But people who are successful at going by their instinct and their gut, guess what? They know their numbers.
Yeah.
They know their numbers. That's the little dirty secret. They're not just out there winging it. They know their numbers and they act accordingly. And after a while, it looks like gut instinct.
Right.
So know your numbers, people. If you want to know where to go from here, know where you're at, know where you want to go, and then start deciding accordingly. And it's deciding, like you talk about, matching your business up with your ideal customer. Let me just say it. Quit trying to be everything to all people. It doesn't matter if you live in a small town in North Dakota or a mid-sized city or a large city. You cannot be everything to all people, because you're an expert in something, I'm hoping. You're an expert, your sweet spot. Find the people who need that. Find the people who need what you do and then focus your attention and act on everything that gets you toward those people. So instead of broadcasting, hey, I can do just what do you want to have done? What would you like me to speak on? I could speak on anything. No. Be nichey, be focused. That's how you get from where you
Absolutely.
are to where you want to go.
Because you can't be everything to everyone. It doesn't. I find that a lot of times when I speak to my clients, it's I can talk. I'm good at. Okay, who's going to come to you? No, nobody. So you got to narrow down and focus. I like that. That's really, really good. And when you were talking about people who just run by their gut and la la la, it's really because they know things, and so then their gut feels much better about it. And that's the same thing about when people say, "Oh, you're so lucky." Well, if you're not prepared, all the luck in the world isn't going to help. Yeah. So you have to be prepared, experienced, and ready to go. And then when luck drops in your lap, it's a much better way to be. So I think those are some great points. Thank you so much. A lot of times you talk about the difference between coping and resilience. And I think when you're talking about know your numbers, know where you're going, I think there's a lot of that resilience put in there. And so what is the difference between I'm coping, I'm getting it done, I have it done, I'm getting things here and there, and resilience? There's got to be a big difference there.
There's a huge difference. And I am an English major. Let me just tell you, I am an English major. So I love definitions of words. And this came, I've lived a full life. By the way, I had my 6th granddaughter on the 30th of May. Wow. I'm living the life I've always wanted on my terms because I focused. Believe it or not, people, I focused and paid attention for the first time in my life a little while back. And I went from scraping to living life on my terms. Yeah. So that scraping, that being able to work well in chaos, that there's nothing wrong with it. Being able to get that proverbial blood out of a turnip, to be able to get through when things are tough, to have those high level coping skills, those positive coping skills. There is not a thing wrong with them. Matter of fact, they are the foundation that resilience is built on. But coping by definition means to take a hit. The root word of coping is coup, which means to hit, to take a hit. So if you think about this, boxers prepare themselves for the ring by taking hits. You got to be able to take some hits, right?
Yeah.
So unless you're a boxer, I would just recommend that you decide how many hits you want to take and how long you're willing to roll with the punches.
Okay.
Because we put a little crown, I call it the coping crown. And I'm publishing a book come December with some poetry that I write. And there's a poem in there about the woman who throws away her coping crown. Oh. And steps across the line, draws a line in the sand and steps across it and says, no more. No more. I'm going to go beyond just taking the hits and rolling with the punches. I'm going to use these coping skills that I've developed and I'm going to leap. I'm going to leap forward. I'm going to move past just taking the hits and I'm going to take charge. And that's what resilience is about, is taking charge, taking ownership. Yeah. You take all those positive skills with you, but you take ownership. So the root word, are you ready for this? The root word of resilience, it's French for to leap. To leap. To leap forward, specifically, to leap forward. When I saw that there in my favorite book called The Dictionary, and yes, I still own a paper dictionary, I'm going, oh my gosh, this is like, the grammar gods smiling on me.
Yes, I love it.
And I'm going, this is where we're at. We need to have a plan, and that resilience, being able to leap forward, requires a plan. And of course, I would say it requires a damn plan, because it's formed by those determined decisions, acting consistently, minding your business, and not making excuses.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we're in a coping mode, all too often we are making excuses that say, well, you know, that's just the way life is, or, you know, this pandemic hit, and yes, I'm coping. But if you're so busy making excuses why you can't, you will not see why you can.
Okay. Yep. 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 And I think many
so
people have seen that.
It is. And I, like I said, I'm proud of us, and I'm proud of, I just am continually amazed at the entrepreneurs out there who said, oh, so you say I can't be open for business this way, but you know what? I can be open for business this way.
Yeah.
Or I can change the model. I can add a product that is needed now. I went from teaching primarily in person to developing courses that business centers could use with their clients over and over and over again. We recorded 9 hours for the North Dakota Women's Business Center that's on this fabulous virtual library that people can tap into at 2 o'clock in the morning when the babies are sleeping.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. They said, you know, okay, so we can't do this, but we sure as heck can do this.
Yeah.
And I think that's what resilience is.
I love it.
That is truly what resilience is. They say, I can't do this because there are things that, you know, just are not going to happen. I'm 62. I really thought that I could vault over the end of a slicky slide and catch my 12-year-old granddaughter in a game of tag. Yeah, my chiropractor says I can't.
Okay.
So, you know, there's a few we have, but you know what? I can learn other ways to catch you.
But you tried.
I tried.
Well, you know, there's other ways of doing.
Yep. Go under the slicky slide, for Pete's sake. Go
something
under,
like that. Yes,
over.
Absolutely. I love that. So that was being resilient. We like that. we like that. So why is knowing the difference between coping and resilience? Why is that so important to know the difference in my business?
You know, I think, you know, it goes way beyond business. And I grew up in small towns where people talk, and everybody knows everybody's business. And you hear a lot of rules, and you hear about what's good and what's bad. And for a long time in our society, whether it's in small rural towns, mid-sized towns, or big cities, but in our society, we have made coping. We've given crowns to people. She's such a good woman. She can cope with so much. She's gone through so much. And you start, here's the reason why you need to know the difference. Yes, you've gone through so much, and kudos, you know, hallelujah, congratulations. You're here, you've survived.
Yeah.
But if you wear that coping crown and never look beyond that and just say, well, yeah, you run the risk. Here's the risk. You run the risk of being a victim.
Oh.
And then you lose your superpowers. You lose all of that. You lose all those skills that got you through.
Yep.
You start seeing those in a whole different way. Now, my one of my skills that I have for coping is, and this is born of, I can walk away. Okay. I don't have to fight. I don't have to stay in the ring and fight. I can walk out of that ring and decide not to take a hit. But that wasn't always the case with me. Wasn't always the truth, because I was one of those women who put on the coping crown, and everybody said, someday, Kim, you should write a book. Well, I did, but I didn't write the book they were expecting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wrote the book that says, no, I'm not going to tell you how I was a victim. I'm not going to tell you how bad things happened to me. I'm going to tell you how to be resilient and go forward.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that, yes, I was there, and I really have come to despise some songs like Good Hearted Woman because of it. But I started wearing that as a badge, and it stopped me dead in my tracks, Dana. And I found myself literally in a puddle in the corner, unable to move. And it wasn't until I turned around and looked at the truth and told myself that, yes, I'm a survivor. Yes, I can. Yes, I can be resilient. I've got the skills because I'm still here. I've got the skills. I can take those skills and now move them onto resilience. But I needed the plan. I needed the decision. And when you're coping, you know, when we started this, here I was locking myself out of my room. And, you know, I had to kick in some pretty fast coping skills to get back in. But I can choose now. I can choose. I can choose. I didn't have to say, oh, shoot, I screwed up again, and beat myself up and put myself down and just, you know, no. Have a plan, make a decision. Next time, put your key for your hotel room in your pocket.
Or you could have gone up for a ride with that guy on the motorcycle. Yeah, I mean, that was a choice.
The options were there. The options were there, but here you were, and I really wanted to share with people what this is so close to my heart, Dana. This is lived experience, and I've watched the transformation of so many women in particular, when they have decided to quit rolling with the punches, to take their coping skills and use them to build resilience and to magnify their business. It's, you know, yes, I do like to get paid, and I talk about finding love, money, and freedom in your business, but this is hard work. This is work I would do, you know, any day of the week.
Yeah. And, we're really close to the end here. I cannot believe how close we are. But so how do we consciously build resilience? It has to be something that we can consciously do.
Yes, we can. So the first step is literally to make that decision. All right. You have to make a decision, and it has to be a decision based in the truth, in the fact. If you're just making decisions just on, okay, I'll try that, you are not resolved. All right.
Okay.
We've not talked about being resolved yet, but being resolved is a huge part of that determined decision. Determined means to be resolved. In other words, I know the facts. I know the direction I'm going. This starts to build confidence. All right. When somebody can see that if they do this, they have the potential. The first time I put it in numbers for myself and said, whoa, if I actually focus and I put all my attention over here, you mean I could get to where I'm working this many hours and making this kind of money? Mind blowing. But that built confidence, and suddenly I'm going, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
So that's the first step. That's the first step to conscious development of resilience. And then here's the big one. You need to act. And that's where a lot of people get stopped at the door. You need to act, because you know what? You've made that decision. You're all excited. And now you gotta roll it out there. You gotta get it out and try it. You've gotta let somebody edit the damn book, which was really scary for me as an English major.
Yes.
And you've got to let somebody help you or tell you the truth. And it could be your ideal customer that says, that's not what I really want. But guess what? Now you've got information and you can go back. And also, guess what? You survived again. You tried and you survived. So resilience is built on action. On action. And the best way to intentionally do it is to start with those good quality, determined decisions, act, and then M is for mind your business. So here's the sweet spot. If you acted, but you had no way of measuring the outcomes, you don't know if you made it or not. So when I acted and jumped across that slicky slide, I had no measurement, put it this way, and I just slammed my shoulder hard into the ground, but I knew that I was too short and probably needed a lot more exercise before I could do that. But in business, let's just say I made a decision to focus on my ideal client, and I put together my marketing strategy. I've got my branding put together. I've got all my products aligned with who I think my ideal client is and what they want, because I've done my research. And then I say, because I'm going to implement those, execute on that decision and act accordingly, consistently. Because of that, I expect that my net or my revenue next year will be 100,000, 50,000, whatever. To me, the revenue number is relative to you.
Yeah.
Not to be compared with anybody else's number. And that's why I call it living life on my terms. What do you need to live life on your terms? So then if I don't make that mark, or if I don't make my monthly goal or my weekly goal, I break it down to daily, monthly in the beginning as we're trying, because we might need to pivot real fast. We started out with one website, put a lot of effort into it. It was very conservative, you might say. And it did not get any traction. I moved to that little bit more, more of the DM plan with my cloud and the colors you've got in your background, we match.
I know.
And anyway, I moved to that and started changing product and hit that spot. Found what people wanted, but it didn't work straight out of the gate. So that's how you intentionally build resilience. Number one, you knew you survived. You measured it. You did not just simply say, well, that didn't work. Because that doesn't build anything. That doesn't build anything. So every time you act, whether you fail or succeed, you're going to build confidence. That boxer did not learn how to box. The swimmer did not learn how to swim. You did not learn how to ride a bike by reading about it. You got in the ring, you got on the bike, you baked that pie, whatever it was you were trying to do, and you just succeeded or failed and went back. So resilience is, in the end, it's about getting up again, learning from what you just did, and redo it. Redo it. And if you start moving over to that excuses part, you're going to land up right back in that coping and taking the hits.
And I think it's one thing to say this happened, but to not make it an excuse, to make it, acknowledge it, and then keep moving. We've got to keep moving. Kim, I wish we had an hour, because
I do too.
We could really, really keep talking. And I know the viewers are going, what? So everybody, show us the book one more time, if you don't mind, Kim. Ta-da! The Damn Plan. And
how to find freedom, love, and money in your business. And I want to say it again, Dana, because I think this is really important. There's a whole lot of social media that says you can make $1 million today if you just follow my plan. I do not work that way. Business is built within the context of your life. So you decide what the terms are. You decide how you decide what you want. If you want $1 million business, there's a damn plan for that. If you want a $100,000 business, there's a damn plan for that. If you want $10,000 extra spending cash a year, there's a damn plan for that. So this is all relative. It's all relative to your life.
Absolutely. And then you've got these great points, and reading the book really gives you so many things. I mean, I'll tell you, I read it and I was like going, I hadn't thought about it like that. What? So it really is a great read. So my viewers, if you want to know more about Kim, here's her phone number. There's the website. Go find out about Kim. Kim is so gracious. Go ahead and contact her. She'll be happy to talk to you about any of your questions or concerns. Get the book if you want to know about the Damn Plan. I think it's well worth the read. Absolutely. And we are done. We're over. My goodness gracious, the time has flown. And thank you for not getting on that motorcycle, Kim. I really appreciate that. And as usual, if I could be of any service to anyone out there, if you want to ask questions about how we interview, how we coach, there's my information as well. So give me a buzz. And in the meantime, we will see you next Tuesday on business inspiration. And Kim, have a great time out there live speaking. So get out there, because I know it's so much fun to be out there and doing it live. So thanks, everybody. Thank you, Kim.
And congratulations, Dana, on number 50.
I know. Oh yeah, this is 50. Number 50.
This is 50.
50. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you, Kim. I forgot all about that because I was so excited about what we were talking about. So number 50, unbelievable.